Hello and welcome everyone to the sixth episode of SEO Surgery in India. Well, it's a lovely day here, so I'm super happy. And you made me even more happy by showing amazing response once again. Thank you so much for that. So we got a lot of websites, which made my life super tough because I had to pick only three, as you know the format of this show. So we have picked three websites from the list of hundreds of websites you guys submitted. I'm sorry to all those who submitted their websites and they're not big. You can give it short for the next episode as well. And for this wonderful episode, we have three amazing with us. One from the Netherlands, one from the UK, and then we have Ram from India. You're on India. Yeah. All right. So I'm your host for the show. I'm Nitin Manchanda. I work at Trivago as a global head of SEO, and I love technical SEO. That's like something in my blood right these days. And okay, so now without wasting any time, I would love to introduce our guest, and I think I won't spending time on that because I can speak about these guys for hours. So let me give a chance to introduce themselves. So we'll start with Arnout from the Netherlands. So Arnout, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, hi. I'm Arnout Hellemans. I've been working for myself in SEO.
A huge one. So good luck, Arnout. And Arnout, what's your favorite aspect, SEO aspect these days?
These days, the stuff I'm really into at the moment is structured markup, so structured data, and not just your review stars, but by providing more context with areas served, low and stuff. And the other thing I'm really focusing on, and I will be touching
the next guest, who is James. And James is managing director for digital. Oh, why am I introducing him? James, why don't you do it yourself, please?
Not a problem at all. So I'm James Brockbank, managing director and founder of Digitaloft. We're an SEO and content marketing agency based here in the UK. We work with predominantly B2C e-commerce brands across fashion, travel, on a combination of technical SEO content and link building. My background is technical SEO. Over the past couple of years, I've moved a lot more into big top-tier link building. We do a lot of digital PR campaigns, but I mean, my initial passion in SEO is technical SEO, and it's quite rare that I personally get to audit sites nowadays. I've got a team to do that, so it's been really nice to sit down and audit a site, pull out some findings, and yeah, so we're a multi-award-winning agency. Won a number of awards at the European Search Awards, Interactive Marketing Awards over in Florida early in the year. So yeah, we do some great stuff with B2C e-commerce brands, and hopefully I can share some great insights on the site of Audit today.
That sounds wonderful, James. Thank you so much for introducing yourself.
No worries.
Well, yeah, and you were speaking at Digital Olympus yesterday, right?
I was speaking at Digital Olympus yesterday afternoon on content-led link building. I did a really fun session yesterday on content-led link building on a small budget. I mean, I'll say we're often challenged with, we work with some great big brands. We also work with a number of smaller brands, and what we're often challenged on, especially in competitive sectors such as travel and fashion, we're often challenged to produce big links on small budget. So I shared some really interesting thoughts and approaches that we take to land top tier links from Huffington Post, Mashable, etc. on small budgets by thinking smart and thinking story first on content.
Yeah, lovely. Well, I heard some really good reviews about your talk yesterday.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, man. Welcome once again.
If anyone does want to check out any thoughts on that, one of my blog posts was published on the Semrush blog yesterday, looking at use content on a budget to produce some great results and links. So yeah, check that out as well on the Semrush blog.
Lovely. Thank you so much, James.
No worries.
All right. Moving to the next guest, that's Ram, like one of the very famous SEOs from India, and he's co-founder of this company called SEO Book Lab, which is a very well-known SEO agency in India. So Ram, now it's your turn to introduce yourself. So.
Hi guys, this is Ram. I've been doing SEO I think more than 11 years, and I do many things. I mean in digital marketing, but yeah, as I'm not major with everyone, so I'm major. You can say SEO is my main. What I majorly like the things about SEO is the website experience, how user act once they reach, land on the websites, try to understand their behavior and other technical point like the content, the keyword importance, the optimization, keyword optimization, and things like, the art says schema and speed optimization is these days is very, very important. We have to, to incorporate these things. And yeah, and I also handle number of IT agencies, their digital marketing responsibilities. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Ram. That was awesome to hear. Well, you spoke about a lot of things that you're working on right now. What's your one favorite thing that you're focusing on?
Out of SEO, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, voice search or something. But within our SEO, those are some, and associated with the search. But if I talk, internally with SEO, so I would like remain with the main point. Like I have been seeing many difficulties in content while promoting websites. Number one is content. Second, I would like to tell the keyword the same, and the third is the user experience. How to understand each of these 3 points, and to make your landing pages, whatever your objective you want to promote your service, whatever product, whether it is service based or an e-commerce.
All right. Thank you so much, Ram. That was interesting.
Thank you.
Well, now we have a lot of people who are waiting to hear the real stuff, which is audits by these experts. So I think let's not waste any time talking about random stuff or maybe generic stuff or our favorite. Let's jump to the real stuff, yeah? And so, let's start the audits, and we'll start with James, who will be talking about streetstylestock.com. So James, the stage is all yours now.
Not a problem. I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to talk you through some of the... okay. So the website which I was auditing, just to jump straight in there, was a website called streetstylestock.com. Obviously a fashion e-commerce stuff, which is great. As I say, I've personally a lot of experience working with fashion brands here in the UK, especially from a technical perspective and a content and link perspective. So I've got a really good background as to what works, what can provide some really quick wins. So really, I knew what to look for. So I'm going to talk you guys through the site here and some of the things I found. So yeah, what I saw, obviously having a quick initial look using Rush, what we can clearly see is that the visibility and the organic search traffic for this brand is growing. Very, very brand heavy at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of visibility for SSS online shopping, Streetstyle Stock, but some bottom page 1, page 2 rankings, some middle page 1 rankings for lace dresses, women's fashion, flats, etc., stylish tops at cheap rates. So there's some really good opportunities, but actually what I found is on the site there's some potentially serious issues which need resolving. So this is Streetstyle Stock, great. We can see, typical e-commerce store, which, products, categories, and the content. Through the audit, I then discovered wishgrabsave.com, which is actually almost a complete duplicate of the site. So if we compare the content on the homepage just to begin with, add an SGO style, this is like for like. The only thing that's different is the logo and some of the products, how they're displayed. So when I then looked at the canonicalization, it canonicalizes to itself, so it's not canonicalizing over to Streetstyle Stock. And then where it gets more interesting is that when you click on some of the links, as an example, the Summer Fresh Tops, that takes me straight through to streetstylestock.com. So obviously, from perspective, there's a serious duplicate content issue. Both of these sites are indexed. It's very Streetstyle Stock is the main site. Now, from this end, it certainly seems as though the webmaster and the owner has cloned the site, possibly for to roll out on a different brand. But from an SEO perspective, this is a potentially serious issue. We've seen this before when brands have numerous sites. My biggest piece of advice there would be to focus on one brand when there is a real crossover. You know, the products are almost the same, and you know, the products are the same, the category descriptions. I first discovered finding duplicate meta descriptions across sites, and then the duplicate homepage content. So that, to me, you know, to jump straight in there, really, that's probably the most serious issue which I discovered on the site, and one which I would really recommend looking at. You know, if there is a brand need for 2 domains, which, you know, I completely understand that there is in instances a necessity to roll with one, you know, more than one domain, and there has to be unique content. And you know, if it is purely for branding, you know, let's say it's an offline promotion, then this site really needs to be blocked in the robots file, or at least canonicalized to the main site. So that's probably the, you know, that's the bad news first, you know. But it's, you know, the good news is there is that there are opportunities, you know, as soon as the webmaster is aware that there is an issue in doing this. And you know, there's options, you know, either blocking the robots, canonicalize over Street Art Stock, or you know, ensure there is unique content on there, so it's not a, you know, like-for-like duplicate. But actually, then when I go back to Street Art Store, what I started to find is on the homepage that there's duplicate H1 tags. So the logo is wrapped in a H1 tag, as well as the category block. Which, you know, and again, to me, this just isn't not an optimized H1 tag. You know, add an edge to your style. When the title tag is optimized on online shopping, women's clothing, women's fashion dresses online, there needs to be an optimized H1 tag in there, and you know, there'll be some ranking benefits seen from that. But actually, that then led me to actually look at some of the title tags. So look at, say, the title tag structure on the homepage, which is online shopping, women's clothing, women's fashion dresses online. Now, to me, there's initially, you know, it screams out that there's keyword cannibalization there on, you know, at least the dresses. You know, we've got women's fashion dresses online, but actually the page that makes sense to rank and be optimized for women's dresses is the dresses category. So I'm going to try and walk through sort of a journey as to my thought process when I was auditing this site. And actually what we then, you know, in the homepage title tag, we've got women's fashion dresses online. On the dresses category, we've got a title tag of women's dresses online, dresses for women, dresses for girls. Now, to me, there's a very, very obvious sense of over-optimization there. You know, in 2018, you know, stuffing a title tag with women's dresses online, dresses for women, dresses for girls. You know, Google's not, you know, Google's smart enough now to understand that they are just variations on the theme. So, you know, from my work with a fashion brand in the UK, you know, we've seen some fantastic results, you know, initially in the very early days from resolving the issues with the title tag optimization. It was that, you know, you can't keyword stuff in 2018, you know, so to me, a far better title tag here, and again, across the category structure is, you know, women's dresses, you know, buy women's dresses online, Street Art Stock. You know, that is to me a far better title tag. And I say we've seen some real wins from ensuring that these title tags they need to be natural, you know, long gone are the days of keyword stuffing and over optimization. So that, you know, if I then talk through the category page whilst we're on here, we've got a H1 tag solely of dresses. Now, you know, yes, in theory, there's no issues with that, but there could be some opportunities to, you know, to match up your H1 tag with the title tag. So if you're going for, you know, women's dresses, buy women's dresses, again, try and get some keyword variation in there. Another point on the category page is from my perspective, and something again that we've seen work across other brands in the fashion space, is that there's no faceted navigation. Now, I know from an SEO perspective, this can be a nightmare if it's not done correctly, but I'm going to give you an example from a brand over in the UK, Guided. So this isn't a brand I personally work with, but it's an example I often give as to, you know, your subcategories and your faceted navigation done correctly across variations. So here we can see this is the red dresses category, okay? So if I run a site search in Google, I can see that this is the only, you know, there's no issues with query streams, there's no issues with the faceted navigation. We have one single subcategory which is accessible from the faceted navigation on red dresses. If I then run a Google search for red dresses in the UK, I see Misguided ranking in position 1. Now, yes, they have brand presence. Actually, having run audits across other top fashion brands in the UK, what's very important to understand here is that if you want to rank for a term, you know, this is where it has to align with your keyword research, with your keyword mapping. if there are key terms, and in fashion there are, you know, it's actually very, very rare that someone would start their search looking for dresses or women's dresses. They usually have a, you know, a much better understanding as to what they're, you know, especially if they're far enough down the purchase cycle that they're ready to buy. You know, do they want a red dress? Are they looking for a black dress? They're looking for one of the different, you know, the dress styles. And what's very important to showcase is that this is a strategy that works. Now, what you don't want to do is go and open up faceted navigation with every single filter option indexable. You know, there has to be considerations around ensuring that you're not creating hundreds of thousands of pages. Now, as I say, the fashion brand we work with over in the UK, when we first started with them, they had about 3,000 products and they had 130,000 pages indexed on Google. The cause of this was issued with the faceted navigation, how that was being indexed. But certainly when I look at the dresses on Street Style Store, what I don't actually see is an opportunity to, you know, to filter any deeper than just dresses. You know, we've got a very, very long category grid. You know, there's hundreds of products all on one page, you know, so there does need to be some element of pagination there. Again, making sure there's a use of the rel preview and redness, rel next. But, you know, that's looking at it from a user experience perspective as well. You know, if I was a consumer looking at this brand, actually what becomes very, very obvious is that there's actually a way for me to filter through what I want. So, you know, look at faceted navigation, ensure that that it's indexed correctly, and you know, we can see here the real opportunities that come from having a site structure which matches what users are searching for. Now, perhaps the other main issue which I saw was a couple of hundred orphaned pages. So actually, this is an example. So this is streetstylestore.com/collections/buy shoes online India. There's no products in this collection. We have a title tag which solely matches the H1 tag. And I'll say I crawled the sites with Sitebulb, and as I said, there's between 200 and 300 of these. Now, what I wanted to understand is, okay, where were these being indexed from? I couldn't find them in the navigation, and I'll say these are thin pages. These add absolutely no value, and it's very, very clear that what's happened is the collections have been created. They're almost all very over-optimized. Buy Shoes Online India. There's a whole host of others. You know, there was also cheapest online shopping sites in India. There's a whole host of others. So when I look at the XML sitemap for the collections, we see hundreds of these. You know, we see Buy Shoes Online India, Buy Shoes Online India 1. We see Heels Online India, we see Heels Online India 1. There's literally a couple of hundred of these, which are very, very thin contents, and they're often pages, they're not accessible from anywhere. So looking at this from a perspective of how the Googlebot is crawling and indexation, this is just, you know, to me, it's absolute bloat on the index. It's wasting crawl budget, and there's absolutely no need for these to be in here. So, you know, probably one of my top 3 recommendations on this site is to get rid of these pages, ensure they're not being indexed, and work to remove them from the index. Now, the other issue which I see from a content and duplicate content perspective is when we move to the blog page. Now, that's not actually the main blog page, that's a tag page, which is /blogs/fashion/tag/bottomware. Again, I would seriously recommend removing these from Google's index. There are just duplicate content of various other tags of the main blog page. Again, you know, it's absolutely completely unnecessary for this to be in the index, in Google's index. You know, they are all indexed, but they add no value. You know, this isn't the main blog feed, this is a tag page. Then when actually I moved to look at, well, we're running out of time on this, but when I then look at the actual blog content, it feels very, very thin. Now, we do a lot of content marketing. You know, I look at this on the blog post, and if I just quickly run this through word counter, we're on 401 words. Now, I'm always a big fan of spinning e-commerce. This is very, you know, especially in the UK, we commonly see this, that brands are often just creating content for the sake of creating content. You know, they're putting 300, 400, even 500 word blog posts on a blog. And to me, it adds absolutely no value to a brand. You know, what I would always say to anyone is, what's the purpose of this piece of content you're creating? Are you creating it to share on social media? If so, okay, perhaps, you know, could you just create the content on social media? Are you creating it to rank under a long tail educational term further the funnel? Now, in this case, I don't believe that's the case. Or are you creating content to land links? Now, I don't believe this falls into any of those categories, and the same with the blog posts on the site. And it's looking at it from a perspective of what's the point of the content that's being created. You know, if you're, let's say, rolling out one blog post a week of let's say 500 words, it will be far more efficient to create one really great post once a month of 2,000 words, which really answers a question. You know, what's very key for me, what I talk about a lot, is how can you ensure that there is a purpose for every piece of content you create? When you start creating content solely for the purpose of creating content, you know, lots of SEOs will say, yeah, the more content you create fresh content. You know, I've never believed in that. You know, and there's still no evidence that shows that a 300-400 word blog post, which doesn't really cover a topic in depth, actually adds any value. And actually, it adds thin content, and these add up over time. So focus your efforts on creating a number of really great pieces of content. Now, just to very quickly finish off, is the link profile. Now, I've run the site through Ahrefs, and we see links from 187 links from 45 domains. And actually, most of these are, you know, they're very, you know, they're just your usual, your video, you know, your bookmarking, your social bookmarking. There's very, you know, classified ads. There's very little in terms of real authority and value. And, you know, to me, in the fashion space, you know, I mean, we ran a content campaign for a client in the UK last year, looking at the earnings of the Kardashian family, and we earned over 1,400 links from Mashable, from Cosmopolitan. You know, it was a fantastic campaign, but we thought outside the box. We weren't creating style guides. You know, it wasn't, you know, it's not classified ads, it's not social bookmarking. To me, where this site is potentially lacking, as well as the technical side, is a real strong content-led link building program to, you know, to drive some authority from top-tier publications. You know, globally, you know, publishers aren't necessarily looking at where a site's based. You know, can you hook into fashion and, you know, create some real great content campaigns on that. So I say they're my main summaries on this site. I say some, you know, potentially serious issues. The good news is that there are some fairly easy resolutions on those.
Thank you so much, James. You were supposed to complete your stuff in 10 minutes, but you were speaking and I was loving every single thing that I didn't realize that you only taken 15 minutes. So that's really good and a bit bad as well. But thank you so much. It was really interesting. I'm sure this site owners will be super all the points.
Fantastic. And if they have any more questions, they can reach me on Twitter at Brockbank James.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well,
brilliant.
So guys, as James already mentioned, that if you have questions which have not answered here, you can reach out to me, James, Arnout, or Ram, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. But we'll try to answer a lot of questions here as well. But yeah, you never know if you're good. All right. So thank you so much once again. And now I would like to ask Arnout and Ram if they have something to add which James couldn't cover because of time constraints.
Shall I start?
First.
Okay. No, I was having less time to audit apart from my given. Yeah. So yeah, the audit, if I would say, the straight away that's showing under my audit HTML. So I think that's already James shown quite clear.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ram. Yeah, that was, I mean, I think James covered a lot of things. Yeah. And if this company starts working on all the points, they'll probably take more than 6 months. And that's a lot of time, right? And they can, I think, achieve a lot of things if they implement only the recommendations that he shared. So good luck, team. And thank you so much, everyone. Let's move to the next website, which is a huge one, big brand in India. And I am personally a fan of this brand because I've used this particular website a few times, and it's bigbasket.com. So Arnout, stage is all yours.
Yeah, well, thank you. And thanks for giving me a huge so let's start. Share my it's all visible for everybody. Nitin is good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Yes, this is what I did. I basically looked at bigbasket.com. Loads of people will know it. The first thing I actually did is try and look at the landscape. So I did a Semrush check to see like what's the competitive landscape look like, and one thing I'm also looking at is it desktop or mobile. So the first thing I checked was the organic landscape desktop. And as you can see, it's way up there on the right top. So it's ranking for quite a few keywords. I bet they can even rank for more. I'll get onto it at another time. But they're way ahead of, over most competition. So I think that's really good to see. But if you go in there, you can actually see desktop, and then the next thing is mobile. So one of the things that that I've also looked at was how big is it. So here you can see approximate traffic 1.6 million. And if we go to mobile, they're not ranking for as many keywords, but the search volume is like way bigger. It's like 5.1 million. So when I started auditing the site, I focused on the mobile part. So with these kind of things, if you have big websites like bigbasket.com, you know that your visitors are on mobile. They've got apps for iOS and for Android, and so I think, like, but identifying that mobile is really big for you is really important. Let me move that. So the other thing is, when you go into, so when you know this, the organic traffic, you basically end up on the next page where I tried to open it, open it on my mobile. So I recorded my own mobile screen. I'm actually using a BlackBerry phone, which runs Android 7.0, and this is what happened. So I started Googling for it, bigbasket.com. And then I ended up on the website. I clicked it. It started loading. This is a progressive or a web app, so it's actually loading the web app. It wouldn't stop loading, so I wasn't able to use the site on my mobile device. So I think this is a big thing, and it might only occur with a certain amount of people, but in another audit I ran into the same problem. Debugging is a pain in the ass, but you will be, if you solve it, you'll make more money. So it's an endless loop, and this is not a GIF, it's an actual recording. So next one, I used Screaming Frog to do a crawl. So I did the crawl, and I bumped into quite a few large images. And especially when you're doing a mobile crawl, images of almost 1 megabyte, that's not possible. Pretty much what I'm focusing on is 100K or less. I'll also tell you why I took this part, because it being such a big brand, there's so much gains for all your hits on your server and on your CDN, but also for the people to actually understand, like how it's a really good user experience. So hence me saying, please go and fix, well, the most important issues. And these are fairly simple, although I must say that with a big site like this, these things happen. One thing would be to safeguard this, build something in that that automatically optimizes all the images, but also make sure that certain images can't be uploaded. Like if you've got high-res PNGs, they're way bigger than JPEG. So all these kind of things, educate the people that do your content management on this. So another one that I saw, and I just mentioned it in the previous audit, is it's on secure socket layer, but it's not using HTTP2. There's loads of tests out there. There's even a tester that I'm using is an extension for Chrome. It's called the SPDY HTTP2 checker. So any site you open, it will tell whether it's HTTP2. So with HTTP2, you'll get 20 to 30% increase due to less traffic going back and forth, which HTTP 1.1 is. So another thing with this is, if you want to know more about this, I really loved this presentation at Brighton SEO by Tom Anthony. So I'll share the link. Read this. If you're on SSL, which most of you probably are or should be doing very near future, then go to HTTP2. If you then ask me, like, what's the acceptance rate? A great website to use this is Can I Use? And you can go into India, and in India, almost 50% of them actually use HTTP 2. So all the other ones will just default to HTTP 1.1, so you'll be fine. So this can be an impact for a huge amount of people. So another one is that when I crawled it in using Sitebob and Screaming Frog, I only saw JPEGs, and I couldn't find any WebP. WebP is a new image format that was open source but developed by Google. Not all the browsers support it. I'll get onto that in a minute. But what you see here is the optimized images is the middle layer. So the 100% is like your normal JPEG on the right size, and then you optimize it to an optimized JPEG for web. You'll get something like 80%, and then even more. You can get up to I like 90%. You can up to so there's another big increase, and with PNGs it's even bigger. So all of these kind of things, if you use WebP, the new image format, and reach out if you need to know more. I'll have loads of resources on it. It can be really, really big in terms of data that go over the line, so you can speed up pretty much all the pages. Acceptance in India, it's 85.5%. And it's probably because lots of people are using an Android-based phone. And Chrome is probably big. I don't know, you can tell me, but this is what I found. So I would recommend as soon as possible. Next one is using a different compression format. We probably all know gzip. Gzip is a way of zipping files in making them smaller to transfer from the server to a computer / device. If you use Broadly, which is again something Google came up with, it's again open sourced. When you do that on setting 4, it will shave off another 10 to 20% in terms of what you need to transfer. Again, almost 80% Broadly acceptance in all the browsers used in India. So it's quite big. So I'm trying to stay within the 10 minutes. So let me go into another one. In general, I was quite happy with what I saw with the canonicals and all the stuff. So I'm just highlighting the things that can be improved. So one that I found, and I found quite a few of these, is internal linking. So you're basically linking internally to a recipe for a watermelon mocktail. But the thing is, you could optimize these anchor texts way better for a search engine to understand why they should rank that page instead of just using the normal URL in there. So that's what we see here. So the next one is, again, when crawling using Screaming Frog, I saw that some of the links internally are HTTP to HTTPS 301 redirects. Bear in mind, I do this using a crawl, so when I bump into an HTTP link, it gets redirected. So a quick fix, relatively quick fix. It's just cleaning up. So then there's another one. There probably is a standard page title, which is best online grocery store in India, save big, blah, 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 at bigbasket.com. But these are also being used for category pages, for login pages, for brand pages. So thing here is that I would recommend diving in and fixing the core ones and optimizing them for what the page is about. So again, a very relatively simple one. It's just hygiene. So try to fix this. Then there's another one. I went to the register page. So how to register Big Basket. And then I saw the partner. Next one I clicked on was this page. So it basically told me to get money off of your grocery bill. And then when I would click register now, it would bring me to the homepage. I don't think that's a great user experience. So you might want to look into that. And let's see. Then there was other ones. I used link research tools to figure out incoming links that end up at a 404. And I found quite a few brands like this one. So Fortune Biryani Special Basmati Rice was on their own brand page. And now it says, bring your product home by now. And then there's Big Basket, there's Amazon, and there's another one. These are really valuable links, and there's probably high user intent next to them. When you click this, you'll end up on a 404. So not a good practice at all. That was it. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen now, and then.
Perfect.
Oh no, this is not the one. This is the one. Sorry about that.
No worries. But that's amazing. Thank you so much, Arnout, for sharing all that information. I really enjoyed the part about and all those numbers that you shared about P and HTTP too. So that was really good. What tool did you use for that, by the way, for fetching those numbers and their acceptance percentage?
Oh, that's caniuse.com.
That's a lovely name. Thank you so much.
It's a great tool. So if you want to basically sometimes go to developers and saying the numbers, but you can also show that it affects this kind of users in your target audience.
Just a very quick one from me, Nitin. I mean, I think the main one that I established when looking over in a very quick audit in comparison to the street art stock was that a lot of the subcategories, and I didn't get around to the main category level, but as an example, I was looking at the cuts and sprouts category on Big Basket. There is no H1 tag, and what you would expect to be the H1 tag is actually H2 tag. So that could be a good win there, given that there is no H1 tag. As I said, that was the main. Obviously, I did highlight some of the points that Arnout mentioned. But in terms of other things, turning those H2 tags into a H1 tag is, to me, some of the basics that should be looked at.
Cool. Thank you so much, James. And I think a lot of points that Arnout shared, they were like one-time process setup. For example, if you're talking about WebP or HTTP, they are like quick wins and one-time setup, and then you can achieve a lot because image optimization, as he mentioned, that you can bring your page size to half or maybe even lesser than that because you have a lot of images. So I think that can be considered as number one priority, I would say. All right, Ram, do you have anything to add here? You would need to yourself again. Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
No. I told you already, so to be clear, honest, so.
Sure. No worries. So let's give a chance to you now to speak about your stuff, because you'll be auditing our website adventurenation.com, and now stage is all yours. Now you can speak about your stuff.
Okay, thank you, Nitin. So let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Here is the website.
So right now I can see this notepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today I will be talking about this website, the keyword research, the current organic keywords, and general keyword. I mean, related to their services they offer, the current presence, and the general other where they do not rank any of their pages, competitor research, overall site structure analysis, landing page, and page speed analysis, and SEO audit. Okay, so let's start from keyword research. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah. Perfectly.
Okay, great. Uh, okay, so you see here, so this website is ranking 25,000 plus keywords organically, and here is I mean the traffic they are getting. So let's open the keywords and see. Okay, these are the keyword they are ranking. Okay, so these are the keyword you can see, and I have taken all these keywords in my Excel, because as I already told you, the current organic keyword that I need to select, because I have to make sure that other, because if they let me show you the example of one case. uh, so that you can suppose tracking, so there may be other keyword related with long tail other keywords, so they may not be ranking. So I selected their current ranking pages with the keywords they are ranking for, and the keywords they do not ranking, like Goa tool packages. You can see they do not rank. It has 50,000 volume, 14 keyword difficulty, and you can see they offer destination Goa tour packages. Okay, so I like to take you further how the keyword analysis, and I selected, I have select all their offerings, these all camping, these and these air activities. Okay, then location, everything I have taken. uh, Okay, you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So here are their main services. Okay, these are the services. So here the location. So I put all those keywords in href. Let's suppose these are the five. This is just an example, but in my database, everything is covered. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So, okay, I put here. So, having clicked this, all the keywords related with the same terms are ranking and showing the volume. If I like want to see the keywords with this, what other related keywords we can, oh, this is not okay. So I like tracking in India. This is first. Second, tracking in India, and third, tracking nearby Bangalore. These are the keywords that relate with the with our offering. Okay, so these are the keywords. So I taken all the keywords they're offering, and selected the keyword, the current organic, the one you can see current ranking pages, and here are the general keyword research about offering our services related keyword, but not ranking any of the pages. Okay, so now last I selected their destination location. I was not going to select, but at the end I thought, yeah, I think Goa, I mean Himalayas, I mean some of the location that's so much, I mean tourist based. So I just thought, let's dive into and see that what keyword speak. So I was come to see amazing thing. Let me show you straight away with the keywords. I mean the location. So because I was ignoring that location. So you can see here. So Kerala tour pages, you can see here the highest keyword, highest traffic it has. So they do not rank with the pages. And further, if I like to take you to open the page, Kerala tour packages, so you can see their title metadata. You can see Kerala tours, Kerala packages, and Adventure Nation. What I was thinking, what in a meta discussion, what I was thinking, I mean, what they have done with these, all the location pages, they have did just the same way. The location tools, location packages, whether it is Goa, whether it is Himachal, whether it is Kerala, whether it is Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, anywhere, whatever the location they are offering, I mean, tool packages, they have not optimized at all. So this is just a this is just a, I mean journal they put. Okay, so that's why the reason they are not focusing on the location where they should need. Okay, and now let me open. Okay,
Ram, you need to be a bit quick.
okay, I need to, okay, oh, great.
Yeah.
I will sure. So here and now I like to take you on the top of pages. What are their top pages? Okay, these are their top pages. I mean, this website is getting. If I like to see this, I mean, this website. So you can see these are the keyword they are targeting. What I like to tell, there is one issue was if I like to tracking. So you can see, so this is the keyword tracking. They rank on two position to with this keyword. Again, they have different page. Again, tracking in India, and again different page. There are three pages. They are targeted quite similar. Where I would advise they should to finalize one page and optimize those with these keywords to optimize. If I like to open the page, okay, so you can see their website, their home website. Sure. So you can see, okay, this is the page. This is the page is ranking the highest position, which has the 28,000. The volume quite high, so they are ranking with this page. What I was come to know that their current website, their structure is different. And what I was surprised to see, this website seems to be old. I think so. I mean, this design, I do not think it should be. Yeah, it looks like they're old page, and but it is ranking. I do not know they are they taking care. And now if I suppose, and one another thing, if so this is the old design, but remain they have updated all the links with the new link, new pages, new design pages link. This.
Ram, we are left with 1 minute only.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. I like to. So they have not. Okay. Okay, so HTTPS to HTTPS, they have not used all their blog pages. Do not have blog. I mean HTTPS. They have missed it. Need to fix. Manual all the like they have missed the all the resources. If once they have shifted to HTTPS, here is no HTTPS. Once they have shifted to HTTPS, then all the resources backend in the coding, HTML, whatever it should serve with HTTPS. As currently, if currently I see, so this is not HTTP. So this needs to be fixed. Found issues in blog. Okay, favicon is not used here. The same favicon
Right.
needs
Ram,
to.
I think we would need to stop here because we're running out of time, and we have a few questions from people, and we would love to answer them
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing all these insights. And I wish you could cover all of them, but yeah, we have a constraint here. I'm sorry about that. You can stop sharing your screen now.
Nitin, am I given 15 minutes? I think it's less. I was I'm just anyway.
Yeah, no, it was 10 minutes for everyone.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Anyway,
No issue. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, man, am I really
yeah.
taking 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. No issue.
All right, guys. So Tashram once again, and James and Arnout, if you guys have something to add here, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, I think my one, I'll say, having done some
Which
quite a lot
TLD
where we've run
priority of all SEO friendly domain? Which TLD?
Ram, could you please your screen now? Yeah, James, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think my only point there was the importance of the destination pages. I mean, I noticed that the destination pages, which Ram mentioned, the poorly optimized title tags, they have no index, no follow tags on them. I know for travel space that the majority of searches actually originate around destination terms. So I think there's a real importance of obviously they're just using search pages there, which are, they are no index, no followed. Now, obviously, there is the argument, obviously in the way they've done them, there is nothing unique on those pages. So in theory, on the approach they've taken, they are right no index, but there needs to be a site structure which focuses on destinations and locations. No index, but there needs to be a site structure which focuses on destinations and locations. My experience in the travel sector is that's where the best conversions come from, because obviously, as we said with fashion before, once somebody has chosen a destination as opposed to just looking for, say, tours or holidays, once they have a specific destination in mind, you're going to get a much higher conversion rate as long as you can offer what they're looking for.
Thank you so much, James, for adding that. And another point I noticed that when Ram was speaking about these pages, so there are a lot of pages from the main navigation which are no index pages. That's just waste of crawl budget. That's just waste of crawl budget.
Yes,
Don't do that, guys. Yeah. Yeah, Arnout, your turn.
Yeah. Well. Same here with HTTP. Same here with HTTP. I saw a lot of generic page styles. We've been touched on that.
Or your point. So I'll ask you a question here, which is from Rakesh Chandran. The question is, the approach for B2B companies in terms of SEO should be different compared to B2C, and especially in terms of content. So what do you think? How should B2B companies, go for SEO content?
Well, yes, and as James mentioned as well, customer-facing people, sales, customer service.
Shahryar Aziz, the question is, isn't product title, description, and website optimization enough to rank? Do we really need a blog on an e-commerce site? What's your take on
this? Absolutely, of course you do. I mean, to summarize very, very quickly, my main comment on that is any of your competitors can optimize titles, descriptions, and carry out basics of on-page. Yes, when you get to the more specific, the technical elements, etc., you do need to really know what you're doing. But, in theory, you could have 10 competitors who've done product titles, descriptions very, very well. What's your differentiating factor? Content lands links, content adds relevancy, it earns you long-tail rankings. And on an e-commerce store, you need to do that. You know, think about the buying cycle. You know, think about buying guides. Think about content that adds value. You know, as Arnout said before on with travel and images. You know, think how you can bring in customers further up the funnel, because you know that's how you can grow a brand and reach wider audiences. So I say I could talk all day about this, but that's my answer in a very quick summary.
Cool. Thank you so much, James, for being super quick.
No worries.
Well,
no problem.
Guys, there are a lot of questions that you're asking, and we're not able to pick them because of time constraint. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of people who are unhappy about those questions, and even Ram's audit, which was amazing. I know the content was amazing, but he was not able to complete it because of time constraints. Apologies about that. But if you have any questions related to anyone's audit or any generic question about SEO, feel free to reach out to me, Arnout, James, and Ram, and we'll be more than happy to answer. Well, that's it from us for today. And now, before saying goodbye, I would love to hear everyone's key takeaway and their preferred communication channel where people can reach them with their questions. So, James, you can start.
Yeah, I mean, my key takeaway is really, you know, don't forget the basics. You know, on most of the sites we've looked at, been poorly optimized title tags. There's been missed H1 tags. You know, yes, you know, the site-wide technical is very, very important, but you've also got to consider the basics. And focus on the basics, and you know, and then work through the other areas. My preferred communication channel is Twitter. You can reach me at Brockbank James. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James.
I mean, taking care of your website should know from A to Z, organizing your content of your website. Wherever, if your website have 10, 100,000, 10,000 million pages, you have to know what are the categories, main category, subcategory, product, how they actually, I mean, hierarchically, I mean, showing, I mean, is it visually appealing, I mean, to the user? These are the things. And the second thing, what I like to give takeaway is the content optimization and duplication. It was another very major, serious issue what I have been seeing. I mean, since it's quite big. I think there have been quite updation from Google. They are taking care of duplication content, scrap content, etc. But making sure your content is best is not an easy job. So you have to work on that.
All right. Thank you so much, Ram. And yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and showing amazing response once again. And thank you so much for now. Have a lovely day.